Today we're going to be talking about the FIRE movement. Now, FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. People who live this lifestyle have the mindset in general of working hard and saving as much as possible. So we would say high savings rate in the usually it's 20s to 30s. The idea being that maybe by the time they are 30 something or 40 or 50, in the context where people increasingly work indefinitely or well into their 60s, if not 70s, all of this counts sort of as early retiring. The idea is with a high savings rate during this period of time, you can retire early and have enough money to cover living expenses with what usually is 4% of your sort of nest egg. The goal also includes a high investment level, meaning that you are not keeping a ton of cash around. You are really putting the vast majority of this savings, usually it's into index funds and holding them for the long term, which will then leave a long time for those funds to compound and to grow. Proponents of the FIRE movement will emphasize it's not just about retiring early. It's sometimes just about having the financial independence to do whatever you want, to partially retire or to change careers or to spend a few years raising kids and then coming back to the workforce if that's what you want. There's often an overlap with minimalism. Not always. There are movements called lean FIRE versus fat FIRE, and you can think lean versus fat, different approaches to whether you're taking a minimalist approach, but often there's a sort of minimalism of like, how many shirts do I need? Do I need a car at all? Do I need to live in a high cost of living city when I could get everything I want in a medium cost of living city and maybe retire 4 years earlier? So minimalism is often a part of it, the idea that you don't need a lot of possessions to be happy, and possessions cost money and you can put that money into savings and investments. And people who live by this lifestyle often will try to avoid lifestyle inflation, because when you earn more money, you could spend more or you could save more, and again, shorten the amount of time until you would be able to retire. The savings rates of people who follow this lifestyle will vary, but you might have a savings rate that could be anywhere from 50% and up. A lot of people can't afford to do this. Part of the movement is encouraging people to think, well, but maybe I can't do 50, but if I think really critically about my expenses, could I get to 30 or could I get to 40? The basic math of it relates to the 4% rule. Okay, this is maybe the most critical thing about it. 4% rule, which now is sometimes called the 3.5% rule or sometimes the 5% rule. But let's just call it the 4% rule. The idea is in retirement, you can spend 4% of your wealth a year without having to run out of money for 30 years, because over that period of time, your accounts will grow from investment returns. So for example, if you managed to save $500,000, usually when you think about this, you don't include equity in a home, because in order to access it, you either need a loan against the equity or you've got to sell the home. So usually we're thinking about investment and cash accounts is typically the way that it's considered. If you are able to amass $500,000 and you look at 4% of that, that's $20,000. Now this is in expenses, okay? In expenses. If you have $500,000, you can live on 20 grand a year, and the money really should never run out. Now, never. Usually these things are back tested to look at 30-year periods where the market did well or didn't do well. Now, that's where 3.5 sometimes comes from. There's sort of the new math, which is if you want to be extra conservative, and especially now that people are living longer and potentially able to retire even earlier if they manage their expenses, if you drop this to 3.5%, it just makes it even more likely that you will never run out of money. Similarly, if you can build up $1 million sort of nest egg, then you would be able to spend $40,000 per year, and the money really shouldn't run out. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. it's also not an easy thing for lots of people to follow. There's a reality in the United States that roughly half the country, if they got hit with a $400 expense that was unexpected, they'd have to borrow in order to cover that expense. So the idea isn't that this is even possible for everyone. There are sort of more evangelical, and I don't mean that in the religious sense, just evangelists for this movement that say anybody can do it. You just have to cut your expenses enough. Well, it's for many people to explore, but it requires patience, it requires discipline, and also the willingness to challenge some social norms and maybe to really live with well below your means for a long period of time. There are people who would say, in order to do this, I have to never go out with my friends or be the person who had rice and beans at home and then sat there with a water while my friends had dinner. Some people have no problem with that, and others say that's not how I want to live my life. And that's totally respectable either way. Doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can work towards increasing your savings rate while not doing it with the intensity of some and sort of split the difference. But this is the gist of it. These are the basics.